Hello, Potato, and welcome to Weekend Magic for August the 19th, 2023. There's not a whole lot to talk about this week. We had a Star Wars Galaxy's Edge very quiet release on Shop Disney. They released, I think just pretty much all re-released. I think it was like one new saber hilt, but they re-released some saber hilts. I think the Darth Maul was the new one. And I think they re-released Qui-Gon Jinn and Count Dooku. They had a new allotment of replacement blades, so if you have a Galaxy's Edge lightsaber, they had those available again. And most importantly, they had the Cantano safe, which they had like for one morning almost a year ago, I think. And I didn't get it then because the pictures on the Shop Disney site were not very good as far as like size and what it looked like and what it did. And I'm gonna be honest, they still aren't. But by the time I had found websites with pictures of what it actually looked like, you know, the scale with other things, what it looked like on the inside, they had sold out. And then I was very disappointed last year when we went to Disneyland and they didn't have them in Galaxy's Edge at all. Well, they got them back in again yesterday. And at least as of the afternoon, they were still up there because like, with the exception of the Darth Maul saber, none of the items they released were showing as new. The Cantano safe, if you like filtered by just Star Wars stuff, was way down the list by the Greef Karga Black Series figure. I guess, you know, approximately when it came out last year. So I'm not sure people really knew that it was available. Otherwise, Monday does see the 1980s portion of the Disney Decades collection coming out. It feels like it's been a long time since we did a Disney Decades thing, even though it's only been a month. It feels like it's been a particularly long month, maybe because the State Fair was in there, maybe because it's been the hottest it's been all summer, I don't know, but it does feel like it's been more than 4 weeks since we did Disney Decades. And this time we are in the 1980s, and I guess the 80s really are kind of a dead spot for Disney because we have not one but two Rescue Rangers items, the backpack and the ears, both of which I'm pretty sure we're skipping. We have an Oliver and Company plush, which we're not doing the plush this time, so we're skipping that as well. And they have a Roger Rabbit pin, which is definitely a buy. I'm in for the pins and definitely in for a Roger Rabbit pin. And then they have a Black Cauldron Magic Band. And I'm going to say I am tempted at that because it features the Horned King quite prominently on it. And you don't see a lot of Horned King stuff. He's someone they should do a Disney Ultimates figure of. The Horned King's a pretty cool character design. Probably one of the, I'm going to say one of the scariest Disney villains they've ever created. But I don't collect magic bands. I mean, I've already got two. My wife has, I think, 3. I don't collect magic bands. So at this point, I am planning on skipping it. Now, of course, seeing as it is still August, this is naturally another Haunted Mansion video. And if you watched last week's video, which you probably didn't, but if you had, you'd have heard me moan about while they finally opened a Spirit Halloween store near enough to me to go and check out, it didn't have a whole lot of stuff. At least not Haunted Mansion stuff. It's also very small. And we found a couple things that my wife wanted, but nothing on my list. Well, literally a few hours after last week's video released, they opened another one very close to me, and I shot right out there and definitely had better luck. Now, while I didn't find my main goal, my main thing this year is I want to find the female counterpart to this fella over here. So far, no luck at all. It's not even on Amazon in the Spirit store there. Plenty of him on there, but not any of her. And I just haven't had any luck in the stores. I'm going to go hit them again later today. We checked out another store earlier in the week, and they said they were getting stuff on Friday. It would be on the floor on Saturday or Sunday. So I'm going to go check out my more local stores and see if perhaps they also got deliveries yesterday and are putting stuff out today in hopes of finding my Haunted Mansion white whale for this season, which is the female bust. Now that said, while I am looking for a bust, the search for Haunted Mansion things this week was not a bust. We have things from both Shop Disney and Spirit. Because while I didn't find the bust, I did find one of the things I said I was looking for, and we found a couple other nice things as well. But first, we'll start with the Shop Disney stuff, because it's the small stuff, it's the little stuff, and there's 3 of those, so we will actually move the camera this week down there to take a look at them. So let's start out with the smallest of our Shop Disney items. This, the Haunted Mansion movie pin, limited release, not a limited edition, just a limited release. And the bag appears to be falling apart quite badly there, but let's get it out. Yep, it is the Haunted Mansion movie pin. It's got the Gracie Manor logo, but it is not just any old pin. It is a spinner pin. And if you flip it around, it's got Gracie Manor on one side and the Haunted Mansion, I guess, kind of movie logo on the other. Like so. And it's very nicely detailed. We do have like the kind of like little demon face we see on top of the Haunted Mansion plaque up there. He is not on the back, of course, because it's a pin there, and you couldn't flip it around that way anyways. It's just a jargon back there. Limited release. Oop, I've dropped it. Limited release, edition limité, made in China, fabrique in China, Disney pins. But it's a very, I don't know how well it shows on the camera, but it's very nicely kind of engraved all the way around. Again, like the border of the Haunted Mansion plaque, which you can sort of see there. I think that's, yeah, it's I think Gracie Manor on it, because of course that is what it's called in the film. It's a nice little pin. I'm gonna say overall, as far as the quality of the pin goes, I'm gonna say I think it's actually a little bit of a nicer pin than the D23 Hatbox Ghost pin. Although it is lacking Hatbox Ghost, so there is that to consider, but it's a very nice little pin. Moving on, we have one more Haunted Mansion movie item, and that is this, which I think was sold as Bag Flare. I kind of thought it was a keychain, but I think it's like Bag Flare on the Shop Disney site for it. I think it's kind of like from that a few years ago, like the year, I think the year that they started to shut down the Disney stores, it was like the Flare collection of stuff. And they had stuff like this, and yeah, Bag Charm. That's what it is, Bag Charm. I think it's part of the Flare collection, because yeah, I guess you wouldn't want to put keys on that. It's got just a little spring-loaded latch there. I mean, sure, I wouldn't want to put this on my bag either. I'd be afraid of it coming off and getting lost. But it's a cute little Haunted Mansion thing. We have the Haunted Mansion movie logo again here, like so. We have the sign from Harriet's House of Magic and Intuition. Of course, our psychic in the movie. And we have, and actually a cool little key. I wouldn't mind actually getting just this key if it was available. It's kind of in the style a little bit of those keys that Disney used to sell. I have like a Hatbox Ghost one. We're kind of similar in style to the Keys to Imagination keys, which do seem to be dead now, but nicer. And this one has the Gracie Manor logo on it and a little rendition of Gracie Manor itself. And it's reasonably thin. It's not too heavy. And of course, I mean, you just wouldn't necessarily want it to be heavy. Put strain on that and break it, or put strain on that and break it. And who needs extra weight on their bag? In the back there, interesting? No, just made in China. But yeah, there wasn't a whole ton of Disney Haunted Mansion movie merch. So this is probably the last movie item I'm going to be buying, at least until the Funko Pops come out, which, I'll be honest, I saw pictures of those this week, and I'm not instantly in love with them. Which doesn't mean I won't get them, but it just made me kind of wish they would redo the old Haunted Mansion, like Hitchhiking Ghost and Hatbox Ghost Pops, so that I could get them and not have to spend like hundreds of dollars for those old original ones. All right, we have one more Shop Disney item, and this one's not based on the movie, and I haven't even opened it to look at it myself yet, so we're going to see it together for the first time. I mean, obviously I'll see it before you because I'm recording this and I have to edit it and then post it, but we can pretend. I can pretend that you're watching this at the same time I'm saying it, like this were live or something, this were a live stream, Like you could live, can I even live stream? I only have like 600 subscribers. Can I even live stream? I don't know. I know I can over Instagram. I did that like one time. That was interesting. Somebody actually wandered in. It was very interesting. All right. So as you may guess, this is an ornament. Now, this year, they basically just re-released the same exact ornaments as last year. The Ghost Host, formerly Master Gracie when I bought it, but they changed it to Ghost Host after the fact. The Hitchhiking Ghost in the Doom Buggy, Constance, and Hatbox. So they just they've really just kind of re-released those this year. But they did release one new ornament, not of course counting these fantastic talking Hallmark ones, which we will need to get Victor when he comes out in October. Of course, Disney ornaments now all come in cardboard, like kind of egg carton instead of the old styrofoam, which is better for the environment and honestly better for me too, because this stuff doesn't flake apart. So we have a sketchbook. What are they called? Sketchbook, right? Yeah, sketchbook ornament, Living Magic. Ooh. And it is of, well, part of the Phantom 5. We have a couple of our Graveyard Musician Ghosts. Pull the little tab out, turn it on, and it lights up. Let's see if we can't make it a little more intimate in here so we can see that a little better. There we go. It's a little better. You can see it now. Yeah, so it's kind of like those other ones. It has like a central light in the back of it, meaning it doesn't light it quite fully evenly. We could do with a little bit more light in his head here, but I think it's reasonably effective. So it's a surprisingly chunky, solid thing. It feels more solid than I would expect from one of these ornaments. All right, let's get some more lights back on here. There we go. And so the bulk of it is made out of, feels like resin. Does it actually say? It doesn't, just says made in China. Changeable batteries, which is nice. But we have our bagpiper and, is that a harpsichord? Is that what that's actually called? I know there's a proper name for that. I'm gonna go with harpsichord because I don't remember. But it's nicely sculpted coffin with our two musicians poking their heads out of it. And I think they're part of the Phantom 5, because I think we have a piece of art we picked up in Disneyland that refers to them, or all 5 of them, as the Phantom 5. So that's a nice addition to, actually does it say on here? It doesn't, it just says Living Magic. I think the tags in these are fairly generic. This is so far the first sketchbook ornament we've bought this year. We usually buy way too many of these things. I'm hoping this year we will show some self-control, but it's a nice addition to our Haunted Mansion ornament collection. I suppose eventually we should just go give up and do a Halloween tree. So that does it for our Shop Disney items. Now it is the Spirit Halloween store items. We have 3 of those as well, and they're just a little bit bigger. So we've had to go back up top, and we'll start with what I think is actually the biggest one. This is one my wife picked out, and it is this. I think this was actually available last year. We just never saw it. It's on the Amazon store, on Spirit's Amazon store. And it is the Stretching Room Lantern. We have Nitrikov, we have Constance, we have Sarah Sally Slater, we have it not locked shut. There we go. And then we have the only guys whose names I don't know. They must have names. Everybody has a name now. I don't know their names though. It's kind of like aluminum thing. It's not particularly heavy. It was $36.99, but I believe she did use one of those 20% off coupons on this. And we were actually a little surprised when we got it home and realized it doesn't have it's not battery operated. It's actually a proper lantern. You can put a light inside of it yourself, like a real candle, but we're not going to do that. We're going to put in a fake candle and look at it that way. Close the little door. Now, since everything we have from Spirit lights up in one way or another, I'm not going to keep turning the lights on and off. We'll just put the candle in it. I know you can't see it because it's way too bright in here. So we'll put that there for them. The art style on it's nice though. I like the art style. It's not quite I think particularly her, not quite the way they are in the mansion, but it's not as stylized as I've seen. I've seen something like really, like just overly stylized, and this one's not. But if you did put a real candle here, you could do that. I don't know that I would. I'd be afraid of the candle smoke damaging anything, but it is actually vented at the top here, so air can get in, heat can get out. You could put a real candle there, but we'll stick with our little battery operated one that you can't see is on because it's way too bright in here. And instead of worrying about that, we'll move on to the next item. Now this is a thing that I said if I saw it, I would probably pick it up, and they had one left when we went in. And again, it's not a new item. They had it before. They had it last year, and we didn't get it then. And I mean, when we went back, they didn't have it anymore. But they had one this time, so we picked up the Stretching Room Gargoyle Candle Holder. And again, much like with this, it is actually meant for real candles. This one was $34.99. And again, I'm not going to put real candles in it. But why do that when I can do this instead? Now, these candles are not exactly quite the right size for these holders, and you wrap some tape or something around the bottoms of them, but they do work. And then we can turn on and get ourselves some lovely candlelight, get the full-on effect. Now, how many of these are actually in the mansion? It's like 5 in there, right? There's like 1 in between each of the stretching room portraits, so there's like 5 in the actual stretching room, right? But it's again, it's kind of like with him. It's a very nice sculpt. See, those candles are. Should have done this before. Put the candles in it. It's a nice, really nice sculpt. I think really well done. It's fairly lightweight, just resin. They have managed to just put Haunted Mansion on the back of it, so from the front you don't have anything marred, which is really a thing with items from Spirit. Like they have like a Gracie Manor like wall plaque, but it has like the Haunted Mansion stuff on it. And some of them are even worse, like a Halloween one says Halloween on it, and Trick or Treat says Trick or Treat on it, and the Overlook Hotel one says The Shining on it. And I like things that look like they came out of that reality, and therefore aren't prominently marked with the name of the property on it. But yeah, the Haunted Mansion has been pretty good about that, because he's only also marked on the back. He's only marked on the back, so from the front, they just, they look cool. If you don't know what they are, I don't know what you'd make of them, but I think they look nice. And it's a really nice sculpt. I'd be interested to get one of the ones that Disney used to sell. I don't know if they do anymore or not. They don't have it on Shop Disney if they do, and I don't recall seeing them in like World of Disney or in Le Baton Rouge when we were there back in December. But Disney used to sell these as well. But I think they were like a slightly different scale, and I would really be interested to try to like put them next to each other, see how they compare as far as like quality, sculpt, size. But I mean, if Disney ever does them again, or I'm able to get one of the Disney ones, I may do that down the road. But I'm quite pleased with him. It's very nice, and it's while it wasn't one of my priorities, it is something I said I would try to get if I saw it. Now, the last item today is one of my priorities. I said before that there were 2 things, especially that I was looking for from Spirit. One, the female bust, which I've mentioned a dozen times and have already said I didn't get. But the others, I think was a new thing this year. I don't remember seeing it anywhere last year. And that is the Snow Globe. It features the only living human in the Haunted Mansion ride, our little friend the Caretaker and his dog. And it comes in his lantern, or a stylized version of his lantern. I don't think the actual lantern he's holding in the ride has a skull on the top, but I could be wrong. But of course, the cool thing is, I know you can't probably see it well because it's in shadow because of the box, and I'm leaving it in the box for now, but the light works like snow. Okay, the light doesn't actually help all that much, does it? Can we tilt him back a little bit? There we go. I think you can see. I don't know. That was glaring him. Well, hold on. All right. We need light directly on him, but that's going to be a problem because he's going to glare. All right. Can we, like that? There we go. Get a little light on him so you can see him better. There we go. Now, one thing about him is he does feel like he's, again, art styles. He looks like he's very much kind of like a Rick and Morty character to me. It's not a complaint. Look at the eyes on that dog. I haven't quite looked at him with light like this before. Look at the expression on that dog's face. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's a very nicely sculpted expression. Honestly, his eyes are pretty good too. And it is actually, I mean, not a snow globe per se, it's a bat globe. And Spirit has a bunch of snow globes this year, including some pretty cool, like a Mars Attacks one that makes noise and like lights and stuff. This one just lights up, doesn't make any noise, but it's quite nice. It's nicely sculpted. And I guess you get a better look at him looking at the side of the box. And he was $44.99, and I did use a coupon on him as well, because you know you have that 20% off of a single item. Get him from the back here. Probably get a better view of him there just on the picture, but I'll say he looks like he's a little bit enlarged there. That could just be from the glass, or it could just be some camera trickery they have done to illuminate him on the box. Yeah, this is definitely one of the things that I was really after this year, and I got it. So I'm really just, only thing I'm still really looking for Haunted Mansion is the female bust. So let's, now that we've got these here, let's turn the lights off so we can see them in all their haunted glory. Put you over there. There we go. Now you can see the candle glowing inside of our stretching room here. And I think we'll be able to see him a little better too if I turn the light on him now. Actually, not so much, because the brim of his hat kind of blocks the light off of his face. So yeah, the light's just up there in the top of the lantern. Still, it's very nice. But yeah, here's our stretching room all lit up. Take a look at each side of that. Honestly, well, this isn't the thing that I was looking for. I am quite impressed with it. I really didn't realize it was going to be something you could put a real candle in. Again, not that we ever would. Fake is better because fake doesn't generally start fires. And again, this, yeah, you can't see the actual gargoyle so much, but it is effective with the little candles burning in it. Yeah, I need to fix these candles so they stand up straight even when I move it. But yeah, it's been a much more successful week in the Haunted Mansion hunting front. And I am hoping, again, after this video posts, to go check out at least the 2 closest Spirit stores and take another shot at getting the bust. But who knows? Whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to, like, you know, cry over it if I don't get it. And again, it's still only August. There's still plenty of time to hopefully get a hold of one while they have them in stock. But that does wrap us up for this week. What do you think is better? Do you think the Shop Disney items are better? Do you think the Spirit items are better? Which item that I have here is your favorite? And is there a particular, like, Haunted Mansion item you're looking for this season that it's like your must-have, your goal? I think I asked this last week. I'm gonna ask it again because you probably didn't watch last week anyways, did you? But let me know in the comments what you think of these and what you want to add to your own personal collection. But I do hope you found this at all interesting or entertaining. If you did, go ahead, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.